This gun one-shots zombies literally no matter what tier zone you're in. And you can probably tell that this is the Cat AMR sniper rifle, and the damage statistic on this gun is literally completely full. But then again, where it is a sniper rifle and has a ton of drawbacks, is it really worth using it? In this video, I'm going to be bringing the Cat AMR into a game and putting it through literally every stage of progression possible to see how it performs. So be sure to stick around and let's get right into the video. Alright, so here we are actually in game with the highest damage gun in Modern Warfare 3. So first things first, let's just go and find a bunch of tier 1 zombies and not even upgrade it at all to see how it does against them. Now if this thing does not one-shot them, I'm going to be extremely disappointed, but I mean you never know, so let's go find out. Let's test this thing completely unupgraded against these. Well, that zombie's low HP somehow, so that doesn't count, but fully HP tier 1 zombie, headshot, and he's dead. But that kind of makes me wonder, do you have to headshot for it to one hit? So let's see, and that zombie literally just melted in front of my eyes and it was a chest shot. So you don't need to headshot for them to get one hit by this thing. Because we can already just one hit all the zombies in the tier 1 zone without any upgrades, I think it's already time for us to head to the tier 2 zone. Okay, I found a truck and I just drove to the tier 2 zone, so let's test it completely unupgraded. I don't know why that zombie just died, but it doesn't look like it's doing nearly as good in the tier 2 zone, which does make sense. Because of that, I'm gonna see how much better it gets when we use an uncommon Aether tool. And as you can see, it actually does do quite a bit better. We just did like half of that zombie's HP with a headshot, which is way better than we were doing before. But honestly, it's not gonna cut it if we're not one-shotting, so I think it's time that we pack a punch it to tier 1 and see how it does. Just like that, we have an uncommon tier 1 sniper, and let's see how it does. These zombies are all kind of low, so I'm not sure if this is one-tapping or not. Here we have a full HP zombie chasing us, and if we headshot him, then just like I expected, he's instantly dead. Even though the regular zombies are all getting one-tapped by this thing, if there is one thing that I've noticed is that against the armored zombies, all this thing does is break their armor, which is definitely not good for a gun that shoots this slow. But now that we've tested it against all the zombies in the tier 2 zone, I think it's time we pick up something like a bounty contract and test it out against a boss with a ton of HP. Also, another thing I'm realizing with this gun is that you really have to headshot if you want to do a lot of damage, because as you can see, I just hit that zombie 3 times before they died. But then as soon as you headshot a zombie, it's just one hit and they're dead. And just because of that, it's definitely a good idea that if you have like the Deadshot schematic or something, you should craft it whenever you want to use this. But anyway, here we are at our actual car so that we can drive over to the bounty contract. And I also wanted to mention that these are the attachments I'm using for this max damage build. And one funny thing that I noticed when I was making this is I'm pretty sure whenever you add like damage range attachments or things like that, the damage like statistic actually goes over the maximum amount. I don't know why it works like that, but it's kind of funny how this gun literally goes over the damage limit. But anyway, here we are at the actual bounty, and before we even like start shooting at this guy, I'm gonna pop a rare Aether tool because I know he's gonna have a lot of HP. And let's see. Wow, we are literally doing like 0 damage to him. That's kind of crazy. I knew that the tier 2 bounties and stuff had a lot of HP, but not that much. This guy is like an absolute tank. Because of that, I think it's time to upgrade our gun and pop a refined Ethereum crystal to get our gun to tier 2 pack-a-punch. Now we should be doing a lot more damage, but if I'm being honest, it doesn't really look like it still. Even with the tier 2 pack-a-punch, this guy is just that strong. And that means it's time for us to activate our epic Aether tool and see how we do now. So let's kind of snipe at this guy over here. I don't know how much damage that did. Well, it looks like it's doing a lot more damage now. Okay, after a bit of shooting, he's like one tap, and there we go. Let's see what we got for him for that hard of a boss fight. It really shouldn't have been, but it was. Now that we've completed that, there's one main thing left to do, and that is to head to the tier 3 zone, which I'm honestly not sure how we're gonna do in there. Just because this gun is kind of slow, where it's like a heavy sniper rifle, and the zombies in there are really fast. Well, here we're about to find out how good it's gonna do, because the zombies are literally already running at us. So let's test it, and with one headshot, we actually did about half that guy's HP, which is pretty good. To be honest, I don't want to be in this zone for very long, so I'm just gonna head straight for the contract, and as you can already see, I upgraded my gun to legendary and also tier 3 pack-a-punched it. We got a mimic as our bounty, and as I'm literally just running up to him, we're already getting swarmed by zombies. But as I'm shooting him, it doesn't really look like I'm doing that much damage, and this is at this gun's full potential. Honestly, this sniper is not really cutting it and isn't doing very much damage to the mimic, so I'm going to try to use like my energy mine and stuff here if that works. But for some reason the mimic just runs away from me. I don't know what that's about. We are starting to do a lot of damage to him, and I will admit it is taking a while, but if it works, then it works. And finally, we have an insta-kill and everything, and the Mimic goes down. Let's see what we got. Wow, we got a rare Aether Tool from a tier 3 contract. That is like the worst reward I've probably ever gotten. But now that we finished that, we've put this thing against basically every zombie you'll usually run into. And after doing all of this, if I'm gonna be 100% honest, I don't really think that this gun is worth like actually continuously using. It might be fun to like go into a game with it and test it out, since it is the highest damage gun in the game. But overall, the fire rate and everything like that, the mobility, it's definitely not worth it just overall when you're running around. But that is going to be it for this video, and if you did enjoy it, please be sure to like and subscribe because I am new to content like this. I hope you all have an amazing day, and thanks for watching.